Alright, so I'm just gonna get in here and oh, this guy's so cool. I can't believe I came up with this idea. I think it's gonna knock everybody's socks off. Alright, let's get a couple more details in here just to make him look real mean. Yeah, got evil written on his forehead. Alright, zoom out, take a look at this guy. Oh man, this guy is cool. He's gonna be the evil brain eraser thing, man. And he like floats around on a skateboard with jetpacks. Yeah, that's gonna be the perfect villain here. So let me get my hero. Just gotta take a look at my hero. Yeah, this guy's gonna be the crazy crayon, and he's gonna be my superhero. And oh man, I can't wait to write stories about this guy. Man, look at him. He's such a superhero. So good. All right, I can't wait anymore. I gotta start writing now. Okay, what are we gonna write? Oh, perfect. There we go. It was a dark and windy night. Yeah, that way we can have his cape blown around, and yeah, he'll fly too. He'll fly. Okay, so if he's gonna fly, let me get rid of that. It was a dark night. Perfect for flying. For flying and fighting crime. Oh, this is... where am I going to go from here? Well, okay, I'll stop right there. Enough embarrassing myself and putting you guys through it. But welcome to Scribbles with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Rector. You guys can check out my website at www.jonathanrector.com. You guys can follow me on Twitter at artbyjar. Let me spell that right for you. Alright, this really lame explanation that I was trying to show you is this is just a toss-away character, and I don't want this video to turn into a plugging a certain program, but I just wanted to show you guys some little tips and stuff, I guess. I don't want to call them tips, but things for you guys to look into if you're creating stories. This is definitely going to be geared towards comic book storytelling, and I'm definitely learning along the way, but I just wanted to share some of the knowledge that I've come across, and if anybody's got any recommendations on how to write stories better, or especially comic books, please post it or message it to me. I'm dying right now. I'm craving for new ways to write comic books and storytelling and stuff like that. So without any further ado, let's get into it. What I wanted to do was just explain really quickly how I've been telling stories for quite a while. Usually what I'll do is I'll open up my sketchbook and I'll draw, like a silly guy. He probably wouldn't look like this, but he would just be a superhero or something. And then I'd start to try to design a world around him. And that's perfect. That's great. I highly recommend doing that, and I still do it today. The problem is, though, once I sit down, and I open up this big, intimidating... let me get that out of the way. This big, intimidating white page, it's kind of like, where do I go from here? I don't know how to start. Again, I could start with, okay, my character can do this, he can do that. But what tells a story? What gets you, your heart pumping? What gets you wanting to turn the page? And like everybody else, what I've done is, I open up Google. Excuse me, let me just see where I have it here. Google, and I came across this website here. I'll include all these links that I'm talking about in the description at the bottom. This one's called advancedfictionwriting.com, and it's the snowflake method. And I think some of you guys may have heard about the snowflake method, but if you haven't, basically what it boils down to is this right here. The first few steps look like this, and it starts as a triangle, turns into a star, and then you're getting some more points on it, and then it's turning into like an actual snowflake. And the idea behind it is you start with a pretty simple idea. And then what this guy does on this website anyway, I definitely bounce your ideas off this, but what he does is he starts to make you start thinking in different terms and things that you might not have thought about in order to make your story richer and, just better in general. And I've used this and I stand by it. I think it's a really solid way to get your brain thinking in ways that perhaps you haven't thought before. And it's definitely worth a read, and it's free. Look at this. It goes down a long time here. And there's actually quite a bit of time investment involved in that. But through my searches, I also came across this website, and there's a program I'm going to show up in a second as well. But it's called howtowriteabooknow.com. And most of the things I find, they're all novel-based, and the main problem that I am getting into is I'm turning my stories, it's like I'm trying to convert a novel into a comic book. However, I think there's some really awesome things that you can get from incorporating what makes novels good. Everybody's tastes are going to naturally be different, but there's certain things they talk about here that are fundamental, I think, in just good storytelling. Okay, they have little tips here, avoiding writer's block and blah 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 blah. The best part for me was right here, like, and this literally has like a part 1, part 2, part 3 that you can just start knocking down. It talks about the genre, the character, the problems, the themes you want to do, fun with plot summaries, stuff like that. And let me just see if I can find right here if it's on home. No, it's not there. Is it how to write an novel? I'm sorry. I should have had this all pre-ready to go. Right, nonfiction, or is it writer's resource? Terrible. Okay, they even have things like this. Like they talk about using the index cards method that some people like to use, poetry, all this stuff. But I really wish I could find it here just to show you guys. Oh, here it goes, right there. As you click these, it was just lower from what I already had. So it says part 1, finding your novel and choosing your ideas. Then they start talking about approaching story structures, and then you get part 2, choosing a story goal, which I had no concept of really until I started reading this. This site really sold me on coming up with some really solid ideas and to flesh out my story more. For a while, and still today, I'll come up with a character that I might like or an idea, and I'll have the beginning, how I kind of want to establish it, and then I'll have the ending done, but it's that middle part, the meat and potatoes that you just want to bite into, and what's really going to sell you. You could have an action-packed introduction, and you could have a nail-biting conclusion, but what's going to get people to that, Once people are done reading that introduction, they want something to keep them going, and it doesn't have to be action, it doesn't have to be horror, it doesn't have to be drama, it can be comedy, it can be all of those things, right? Then right there they got creating a plot outline in 8 easy steps, developing your main character and resolution, and yada yada yada. This is free. I highly recommend people just check this out. Just even look at it. If you've got like a couple days, maybe over a week, spend a half hour, just dive into this site. The next thing I'm going to show you is this program that I was fortunate enough for a friend to actually lend me. It's what this website right here that I just talked about is based off of, is this program called Dramatica Pro. And I believe, I was just checking the store here. Let me just double check it there. It's like, yeah, look at this. Download to a PC, it's $210. I mean, that's pretty brutal. And I'm going to show you the program real quick. I just wanted to talk about it because I think this is really cool. It looks like it's some 8-bit DOS thing, which kind of sucks. But so we go like this. We'll go File, New. We'll just start a brand new one here just to show you guys. New. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. So where do we go? We're going to go to which one was it? Story guide. Start here. It says it right there. Basically, what they do is they have 3 levels of how in depth you want to get with your story. And for me personally, if it's just going to be like a really quick, bang 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 story, it's not a great epic trade paperback 5,000 page book. For now, we'll just start with level 1. And it'll go into all the things that it's going to cover. And on the left, it might be a little bit hard for you guys to see, but it says getting started, story forming, illustrating, and story weaving. And right here, you start clicking next, and they start to basically lay it out for you, okay? And they just show you exactly how everything's going. So they'll be like this. What's the title of your story? Our story is called The Crazy Crayon. We'll click next. Briefly describe what happens in Crazy Crayon. And I don't want to go into this too much because it's going to take way too much time. But as you start clicking, filling this stuff out, it's giving you you're breathing life into your story so that as it keeps going, it'll start to work organically. And you'll definitely come back to this and keep coming back to it to really hammer it out and flesh it out. But then you can start creating characters, okay? And they have names, like we'll put the crayon. His role, we don't even know yet, right? But up here, they have this little button called Characters. And if you click Character, they could have right here, Crayon. And this is where it gets really cool. They start talking about the main character, the impact character. I had no concept what an impact character was. You can build brand new characters here. So we want Crayon to be the main character. And I don't want to go into this too much, but basically you can go in here and let's say Crayon was our consider character, and you might not know what a consider character is, but as you start to learn this, you'll start to see how to flesh out your character a little bit more. And on the right here, they say anything that's diagonal is a dynamic character to that character. Anything on the right of that, to the right of it or the left of it will be a companion character, and then up and down is a dependent character. And then they have strong conflicting characters as well, like people that work against each other, like the main character. You put them in there, and Oh man, I really wish I could have it here. Where is it here? Here you go. Okay, so impact character. Oops, sorry. I'll click on crayon. We're going to put him as the protagonist. So it automatically puts him in like the default thing that a protagonist usually would be, okay? And that would be the consider character. They always weigh the pros and the cons. That's their basic motivation. And they always want to pursue, to seek after the goal of the story. Well, what are they trying to talk about? And the impact character, we can just click here, and it actually says, let's say we'll make the impact character the antagonist, just for the sake of this. And it automatically puts it in direct dynamic conflict with the protagonist. So the main antagonist would basically, his motivations would be to make the main character reconsider, thinking it through again. So if you look at like a big bad guy video, you know, like you have your action hero trying to get revenge, and the bad guy's doing everything he can do to just make it so the main character doesn't want to do it anymore. He's reconsidering his own thoughts. That's his main goals there, as well as his basic motivations of avoidance, stepping around, preventing or escaping from a problem. And without getting further into this, just definitely check out this website again, and I'll put it in the notes at the bottom there. HowToWriteABookNow.com. I'm not affiliated with any of these things. I just stumbled across this stuff on Google, and this right here, totally honest. It's really got me thinking more about how to make characters and making it a little bit more easier. And I'll be the first to say I'm not a pro at storytelling. I mean, I don't have a book just yet that I've published myself, and I hope, I mean, you know, it's a big journey to actually be able to be a very good, efficient storyteller. But I just wanted to do a real quick video. I know this really isn't drawing or scribbling or anything like that besides what we did in the beginning, but I thought, you know, some people like to tell stories, and you know, this does directly affect how you draw your cartoons, your life drawing, anything. Well, not life drawing so much, but your animations and stuff like that. So I would highly recommend checking it out. This program here, it's $210. I think it's crazily overpriced, but I will say, at the end of where was it here? At the end of this, by the time you're done, it's going to ask you so many questions that your story is basically going to be written for you, and all you have to do is put in the points that you wanted to clear up on. And also, it can do random story generations. If you're just thinking, you know, maybe I want to tell a horror story, you can click horror, and then it'll ask you a few questions. Hey, do you want the hero to live at the end or die at the end? Click, 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 and it'll start giving you some answers and some, you know, just to help flesh things out. So if you know anybody that has this, excuse me, I would definitely check it out. There may be a demo or something somewhere online, and there may be other programs, but I just wanted to show you guys this, and I'll shut up for now. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for stopping by. You guys can always check out my work again at JonathanRector.com. Follow me on Twitter at @ArtByJar. And any comments, questions, or anything, I'd love to help anybody that has anything. And again, anybody that has any pro tips or any books or anything like that I could read or check out, please let me know, because I'm really craving this stuff right now. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you next week. Take care.